Okay, maybe we can get started. Hi, everyone. My name is Joe Sergi, and this is Module 6 of my self-help kit on the flourishing life. This is the audiovisual component of Module 6. So for more detail, read the script version of this module on Michael's website. Michael stands for the Management Institute for Quality of Life Studies. And the URL address of Michael's is miqols.org. The title of Module 6 is Flourishing Activities in Material Life. Flourishing Activities in Material Life. Making money and spending it on material things can also be decomposed into maintenance and flourishing activities. Making money to pay the bills and taking care of urgent and immediate household needs are maintenance functions. In contrast, investing in the stock market and business ventures should be considered flourishing activities. The same can be said of shopping. One can shop for the bare essentials such as food, beverages, and clothing, and household goods, as well as items like fancy sports car, sailboat, and other luxury goods. Imagine going to the shopping mall not necessarily to buy something you need, but simply to browse and experience its aesthetics and ambiance. The latter activities can be viewed as flourishing, whereas the former activities are viewed as maintenance. This module focuses on flourishing activities within the material domain. To address these activities, we'll need to refer to the concept well-being. Material well-being. What is material well-being anyway? Material well-being is often used interchangeably with financial and consumer well-being. I will describe several definitions of um, of of these constructs. Let's focus on financial well-being. Here's one popular definition of financial well-being. It's the evaluation of one's financial situation. So, well-being researchers have defined financial well-being as the individual's evaluation of their or their family's current financial situation. Examples of a survey item capturing financial well-being include indicate how satisfied or dissatisfied you are with your financial situation, from very dissatisfied to 5 very satisfied. Or another item, all in all, how do you rate your standard of living situation of your family today? Very unsatisfactory, all the way to very satisfactory on a 4-point scale. Um, when in evaluating, again, the standard of living, again, we break it down to these components: income, material possessions, and other family assets. I mean, not family assets, I mean financial assets such as savings and investments. And then again, we get people to rate each component. When it comes to consumer well-being, here's an all-encompassing definition of this construct. It involves satisfaction with the acquisition, preparation, possession, consumption, maintenance, and disposal of material goods in the local area. Specifically, consumer well-being is expressed in terms of the aggregate level satisfaction with material goods and services available in the local area. Satisfaction with shopping, such as product, in the context of product acquisition, preparation, which is product assembly for personal use, use as in product consumption, possession as in product ownership, maintenance as in product service and repair, and disposal, the selling, trading in, or the actual junking of the product. Let's ask the question, does material well-being contribute significantly to eudaimonia? Research has documented much evidence suggesting that satisfaction with standard of living contributes significantly to life satisfaction, controlling for the effects of non-working activities, family, life, savings and investments, work, marriage, friendship, housing, among others. Here are some highlights. Research has shown that subjective indicators related to income play a significant role in the subjective aspects of quality of life, such as eudaimonia. Satisfaction with the material life domain spills over into overall life satisfaction, for example. Specifically, research has shown a positive correlation between subjective economic well-being and life satisfaction. Other reviews that examine much of the evidence on the relationship between income and subjective well-being conclude that satisfaction with income or financial well-being correlates strongly and positively with measures of subjective well-being, including eudaimonia. Okay, how do we explain this effect? The effect of material well-being on eudaimonic well-being. A compelling case can be made that satisfaction with material life influences eudaimonia through personal control and pride. People who succeed in the labor market and thus have higher income tend to attribute their financial success to themselves and feel proud of their accomplishments. These feelings of pride and personal control play a significant role in eudaimonia. Those who have a sense of control over their finances often acknowledge that if they cannot afford a material object, they either save for it or forget it. They express material desires within their financial means. They keep a close tab of how much they have in their savings account. These people are likely to experience a greater sense of eudaimonia than those who lack control over their finances. So, what are those flourishing activities related to material well-being? We'll break it down in terms of activities that can enhance financial well-being and activities, that can enhance consumer well-being. Let's focus on those activities that can enhance financial well-being. Most activities discussed in the financial well-being literature focus on maintenance strategies, that is, strategies to avoid financial well-being. Examples include establishing a budget, building an emergency fund, automating finances, tracking spending, tackling debt, practicing mindful spending, seeking financial advice, reviewing credit reports, and using discount programs. Of course, these activities are imperative to avoid financial adversity. However, they are not flourishing activities that can contribute to eudaimonia. Now, examples of flourishing activities that can enhance financial well-being and eudaimonia include the following. Increase financial literacy, such as attend workshops, read personal finance books, use apps to understand investing and financial planning. Invest wisely, such as diversify investment for long-term growth and wealth. And retirement planning, such as contribute to 401k or IRA using retirement calculators to ensure goals are on track. Okay, well, let's focus now on activities that can enhance consumer well-being. There's a great deal of research on customer satisfaction and dissatisfaction, as well as on ways to enhance satisfaction and reduce dissatisfaction. Much of this research focuses on activities aimed at reducing dissatisfaction in the marketplace. For instance, research on pre-purchase activities to reduce dissatisfaction includes research and vetting, such as researching company reputations, checking for scams and poor service, and reading verified reviews. Verifying details, another way of doing it, such as reading detailed product specification, measurement, and materials to ensure that they meet expectations, as photos can be misleading. They check policies, as in, you know, understanding return, refund, and warranty policies. before finalizing the purchase. And they also compare brands. They evaluate different sellers for better pricing and service items. Now, with respect to the during and post-purchase activities to minimize dissatisfaction, suggested activities include maintaining records, such as keeping all confirmation emails, receipts, and tracking numbers and shipping details. Tracking shipment, for example, and I mean, is another way of doing it. Tracking shipments, as in monitoring the delivery to anticipate arrival to help identify problems immediately. Another way would be prompting communications, such as contacting the seller promptly if the product is damaged or defective, stating the problem clearly. These suggested activities are all designed for one thing in mind, to reduce dissatisfaction or consumer ill-being. Now, in contrast, consumer well-being research suggests uh, activities related to the circular economy. Now, you know, activities related to the circular economy can nurture eudaimonic well-being. And here are examples of circular economy types of activities. Reduce and refuse, such as choosing products with minimal packaging, adopting digital tools to reduce paper waste, and selecting high quality items that last longer. Another activity would be repair and maintenance. For example, repairing broken items such as electronics, clothing, furniture, rather than replacing them. Another type of activities is reuse and resell. For example, extending the life of products by selling on platforms like eBay, Vinted, and Depop, and sharing via FreeCycle. Another type of activity would be recycle and recover. Examples would include using municipal recycling, composting food waste, and implementing circular industrial practices like the plastic bank, which turns plastic into currency. And another, and maybe possibly the last type of activity, circular economy activity, would be rent a product or share. Examples would be renting items like clothes, tools, or cars instead of owning them to maximize usage. And that's the sort of the gist of those activities that can enhance both financial well-being and consumer well-being. I hope you got the gist of it. Okay. I think on that note, I will close this module, and I will see you in the context of the of the forthcoming module, which is module 7. Bye now.